And finally, let's talk about preparing. So I've outlined a basic way of approaching dinner. Now, if you think about it, dinner can be your opportunity to have a large protein. Dinner is where I have vegetables with a protein. So I'm focusing on dinner because that's people's major source of protein and their major concern about what they're going to do without processed meat and red meat. So here's a template that's really cool because it works for any vegetable. It works for 4 different cuisines that I've tried so far: Chinese, Indian, Italian, and Mexican. It works in one pot, and it typically takes 20 minutes to prepare from scratch. It meets recommendations for extra virgin olive oil, 1 tablespoon, 2 servings of vegetables, often one of the 2 servings of omega-3 rich seafood. So first step is to prepare the base. You start with a pan on medium heat. Add 1 tablespoon extra virgin olive oil. Add 1 tablespoon chopped garlic. Add 1/2 of a medium purple onion. You can also add ginger, which I'll add at this point. If I'm cooking a Chinese stir fry, I will also add scallions at this point if I'm cooking a Chinese stir fry. And chili pepper can be good on any dish, but particularly Mexican chili I'll add it to at this point. Step number 2 is add dry seasoning. So there's 4 dishes, 4 permutations on this structured routine meal plan that you can create. One is Italian. For this, after you've sauteed your onion for 5 minutes, you add 2 tablespoons of parsley. That gives you the base for the Chinese recipe. 2 tablespoons of curry powder will give you the base for the Indian dish. 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning will give you the base for the Italian marinara, and 2 tablespoons chili powder will give you the base for the Mexican chili. Step number 3, you add protein. If I am preparing a fillet like salmon, I will cook it ahead of time in a Cuisinart griddler. It takes about 7 minutes, and add that to the pan. Otherwise, for frozen shellfish, that's 4 ounces. For plant-based protein, that's 4 ounces. And for smaller jarred fish, that is 3 ounces. Next, add the vegetables. So this is step 4, adding vegetables. If the vegetables required roasting beforehand, at this point I would have roasted them. This includes potatoes, squash, asparagus, Romanesco, Brussels sprouts. So I would have roasted them ahead of time and add them to the pan at this point. If they didn't require roasting, for leafy vegetables, 1 serving is 3 cups. I'll add that now. I have 2 servings of vegetables with dinner, so I would add 6 cups of a leafy vegetable. If it's a hard vegetable, I will add 1 cup is 1 serving, so I'll add 2 cups of string beans or broccoli or any other kind of vegetable that's not leafy. Step number 5 is when I add the sauce. So it's going to be a broth. It's going to be 1/4 cup of either low sodium vegetable broth, low sodium beef bone broth, low sodium chicken bone broth. It'll be 1/4 cup of either vinegar or red wine. And the vinegar could be red wine vinegar, rice wine vinegar, apple cider vinegar. I'll add, when I'm making marinara, a cup of marinara sauce. When I'm making a Chinese stir fry, I'll add 3 tablespoons of coconut aminos or low sodium soy sauce alternative. And finally, I'll cook covered, depending on what the vegetable is, from anywhere from 2 to 20 minutes. I'll uncover at the end of that cooking time and continue to cook until the sauce becomes thick. Add salt and pepper to taste. Garnish with a fresh herb and serve. I provide in the fruit and vegetables section a recipe on YouTube, a link to a recipe on YouTube for every kind of vegetable I can find, following the 4 permutations of Chinese, Italian, Indian, and Mexican. and you're welcome to check those out in the fruit and vegetables section. So that sums it up. Best way to avoid processed meat is to move to a diet of foods that you prepare on your own from natural ingredients. I've outlined the planning, shopping, and preparing phases of my recommendation.